It's your boy Sherlock, and we're back again today to discuss the latest One Piece chapter, Chapter 1054, Flame Emperor by mangaka Eiichiro Oda. He's back, baby, and I want to wish him the most happiest welcome back. I've missed One Piece so much, and I'm so happy that One Piece back. I could honestly just scream, but no, not that scream, and not that guy either. More like this kind of scream. And yes, that was my wife. No, she is not trapped in my closet. She just screams like that because she's happy about One Piece being back as well. But honestly, I would rather her not scream like that. It's kind of scary. And if you would not want to hear my wife scream like that ever again, let's keep her happy. And hit the subscribe button, the like button, turn on bell for notifications if you enjoy this video and want to see more. And now let's just get to the video. So this chapter can be summed up in basically three main points, or just plot points going on. You have Green Bull pulling up to Wano facing the Scabbards. You have Shanks showing up, and we getting Shanks info a little. It's rare to get Shanks stuff, so that's always hype. And then you got the greatest info dump when we go to Navy headquarters and they kind of reveal what's going on in the world. And we'll get to all of that. We're gonna kind of go in order. We're gonna start at the beginning and work our way through the chapter. So we're gonna start with the Green Bull part. He pulls up. The Scabbards are there to face him, which is like, okay, he just washed King and Queen. They might have been nerfed, maybe, but he just washed King and Queen last chapter, and now he is back to face the Scabbards. And most of the fandom probably is a little underwhelmed because they have been underwhelmed by the Scabbards. That it's anything, they're just not really impressed with anything that they're going to be involved with. So them facing Green Bull is not much, but you got to defend your country. They are the defenders, they're the retainers of Momonosuke, so they have to defend their country. So they stand up to him, and we kind of get a lot of introspective into Green Bull and how he thinks of things and his mindset. He is kind of a fascist and a little bit of a booty hole, in my honest opinion. He thinks prejudice is what keeps the world in line, is necessary. Hierarchy and everything is necessary in the world, which somewhat of that I agree with, honestly, but also the way he puts it, it's a little offensive. So it's a little questionable. If I do say so. We find out what his devil fruit is. It's a Logia type devil fruit. It's the forest fruit, which most of us have been theorizing for as long as I remember, ever since he said he hasn't eaten in 3 years. It's basically been set up, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. The fact that it's a Logia ability and Logias are coming back on the forefront of everything that's going, because they've been kind of on the back burner. You got the boost of Zoans now, mythical Zoans. Paramecias are always going to be very strong and unpredictable, and you can do a lot with them. And then, so it's nice to have the Logias come back and have that kind of power. Fujitora has, well, you got 2 Logias, and Fujitora is a Paramecia. Anyway, you get a real good sense of how he thinks of things. He believes that the world, if you're not a part of the world government, that really you don't matter. He said, I could kill you here and it wouldn't even be a illegal thing because you're not a part of our government, our laws. So your culture and laws don't even matter. Your life doesn't matter if you're not a part of our crew. And that tells you a lot about him, to be honest. And I don't really like his character, to say the least, right now. Maybe he seems like a person that can be a true antagonist, admiral like Sakazuki. I guess that's why he admires him. He's that type of person who can be a true adversary to Luffy, and someone I can see Luffy going all out on and like kicking his butt, really. But past that, you get one of my favorite parts of this chapter. Momo and Yamato pulling up. I love that Momo was ready to face a Marine Admiral, someone at the height of the world in power, someone who just watched King and Queen. He is willing to face him. I mean, it's one of the funniest parts of the chapter, probably the funniest part of the chapter, really. This chapter wasn't a whole lot of comedy, but going and using the blast breath, and in my live reaction, I was like, no way, bro, Momo already knows how to use the blast breath. Like, I was so hyped about it. And then you get the little poop puff coming out, and I'm like, bro, of course, typical Oda. It was just so funny to me, but I just loved his mentality. He never looked scared in that moment. He was ready to face him, even if he just had to bite him. He was willing to do that, and I thought that was really amazing, coming from where we met him in Punk Hazard and how he was basically a little crybaby and just annoying, kinda, and how he's developed in like to such a man. He's not necessarily even just a man in look anymore. He's becoming a man in his demeanor. He has to be a king now. He has to protect his country, and he's determined to do that. And Yamato was about to get more involved, and Momo was like, stop. I don't know if he's about to make a deal with Green Bull, or if it's just he wants to have the ability to protect his own kingdom by himself. I think that's more of it, which I'm so proud of Momonosuke for, if that is truly the reasoning behind what he does in that moment. The next big part of this chapter, we go into the Shanks. It's a hype scene. You have the red hair pirates. You see a ship, and you see the head of the ship. It's not the mask. I forgot what it's called. But just like the Sunny or the Golden Mary, you have Shanks' little dragon, like Nordic dragon. And right there, I'm like, is that Shanks? Is that Shanks, bro? No way, that's Shanks. And he's outside of Wano in their seas around Wano. So I'm like, okay, Shanks is about to pull up. Shanks is making his move. Shanks is about to pull up to Wano, say what's up to Luffy. They're talking about Luffy's become a great pirate and everything. It's very, very hype. You get to see Lucky Roo. You get to see Yasopp, who's still a bum dad. He's a bum dad. A bum dad. He's not ready to see Usopp after all these years, after abandoning him and his mother back on Surf Village. His mother died a while ago, and I really don't even know if he came. He didn't come back to see his wife or his son after that happened. I don't even know if he knows. And he's not ready to face him, which is hilarious, but also kind of sad. Poor Usopp. And then you got, forgot the other red-haired pirate guy's name. He's talking about Kid, and how he tried to face them recently. It hasn't been too long since they took his arm. And then Shanks reminisced about his past. He clutches at his shoulder, his arm, where the Sea King took his arm, where he saved Luffy, how he bet on Luffy. We see him arriving at the ship to take the Gum Gum fruit. There's CP9 agents on board. We see someone, and in the live reaction, I was like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? This guy looks exactly like Sanji. Exactly like Sanji to me. He even has a cigarette, like the hair, and how it's kind of covering his eyes. I'm just like, is that like Sanji's like long lost brother, uncle or something? But later, like talking to some people, I remember and find out that that's who's who, which is, it looks like him when you like really think about it. That's crazy though. This is the moment. And back then, he thought that it was just a rubber fruit. He's come over time to learn, but he thought it was just a rubber fruit back then. Poor guy. That's kind of a tragic story. But you see how he steals the fruit. Shanks has his little reminiscing and flashback and whatever. And then he says, I'm not beating Luffy right now. It's not time yet. And then he goes over to Ben Beckman. He says, hey Beck, Don't you think it's time we go and claim it? And then you go into the best panel in the story. Not the story, the chapter. The Flash, Ben Beckman, it's so cool. The Hey Beck, bro. You can tell that they're so close. And it's like, hey, brother, like, Luffy, Zoro, like, it's time. It's time to go get the One Piece. It was so epic, bro. I was so hyped. It was so epic of a moment. I really can't, like, describe, like, and it's so weird because Shanks, he's been roaming the seas doing some mysterious things for a while now. We've been wondering. So anytime Shanks is on the screen, it's always like we're homing in. Everything he says is important. But why now? Is it because Luffy and Sun God Nika? And there has to be something with the prophecy of the One Piece. And they all know a timing. It's a timing thing. It has to be a timing thing. I can't think of any other thing than like a timing thing for it. Because it's just really specific. Why couldn't you go get the One Piece before? Why is it now it's time to go get the One Piece, Shanks? And the look was kind of ominous, sinister. I loved it, but it was also serious and like confident. And I'm of the club that Shanks is gonna die. Because he's not meeting Luffy here, I don't know if he will ever get the chance to meet Luffy again. Very interested to see where Oda goes with that. I like that he brought back up the cover story with Bartolomeo and being in Shanks town and burning his flag and putting Luffy's flag up, and Shanks is like, yeah, no, we're not settling for that. I don't care if we're friends with Luffy. We're both emperors now. I like the respect that he gave Luffy. We're both emperors now. We would be pushovers if we just started partying with them after that kind of disrespect. We both have positions in the world now. And I just respect that so much. But that's about it for the Shanks stuff. That's super hype of a moment. Anytime, like I say, anytime Shanks is on the screen, it's very hype. Anytime he gets any kind of paneling for Oda, it's probably something to do with the film Red and getting people hyped for that, which Shanks is finally making his move all the way back from that New Year's Jump Festa thing by Oda, where he was like, okay, Vivi, Sabo, all of this stuff is starting to happen, and Shanks is making his move. I'm so excited for it. Can't wait to see where Oda's gonna go with that. And now for the last part of the chapter, we go over to Navy headquarters where we see Sakazuki, we see Kizaru, we see a new, what's this guy's name? Tensei Kuroma, the Navy Criminal Affairs Unit Chief. A new position in the Navy that Oda's just now introducing. He's talking to both of them like they're on the same level, like they're casuals. We get the reveal. Sabo's not dead, nor is he captured, which thank God, he's not repeating the Ace thing. But he is a wanted man, and now probably the most famous and influential man in the world. They're calling him Flame Emperor Sabo and worshiping him like a god, which is very interesting. Both the name, Flame Emperor Sabo, contradicting or going along with Sun God Luffy. Treating him like a god now, the two brothers. And Green Bull said early in the chapter, he talks about the ability to sway others. And I thought when he originally said that he was talking about Luffy, but as I read more, I realized that he could have actually been talking about Sabo. Because now, especially coming out, he came in talking about how the world's a mess, it's in chaos, and now we're finding out how Sabo is swaying everybody in the world to act. They talk about 8 rebelling nations. 8 rebelling nations. While their kings were away at the reverie, they decided to rebel, and now they're using Sabo as basically their figurehead. They said his influence might eclipse Dragon now, which is very, very interesting to me. Does that make Dragon expendable? Maybe. Might be death flags for Dragon. Is Sabo going to be the new revolutionary head? Is there going to be some kind of conflict there? It's also building Luffy's fleet, really. Because Sabo has followers all over the world now. Luffy's gaining followers all over the world. Is building for that grand war of the freedom of the people, waging war back against the world government, the world nobles. And there's an info dump of so much. They talk about the Dragon Claw Monument being destroyed there by the revolutionaries. They faced off against Green Bull and Fujitora and came out on top, apparently, somehow. They got Kuma. Sabo is framed, though, for the murder of Nefertari Cobra. And there's been a disappearance of the Princess Vivi. Both of which are very interesting. I do not believe that Sabo killed Nefertari. I believe that's a cover-up. He was asking questions, and I believe they wiped him out. Sabo is just the fall guy. I want to say Sabo has Vivi. She disappeared with him and he saved her. But I also want to say that Eam got his hands on Vivi. He had crossed everybody out but Vivi. And the Gorosei came to him and asked, "What can we do for you?" And he had her picture there. And that's what's gonna get Luffy to act on the world government, on Imu. That's what's gonna get them to cross the paths with each other. I think Oda's, when he said he's starting the final saga of this story, and he just recently came out and said that there's only 3 years left of the story, which I can totally see how he came back with this chapter. He said all the pieces and cogs in order to start really dominoing on it. Going, bro. Going. We have less time in the story than what we spent in Wano, which is crazy. Things are about to start moving, boys and girls. Things are about to start moving, boys and girls, and I'm so excited. I didn't even mention that the God's Knights, and they have jurisdiction over mediating disputes and everything in the Holy Land between the Celestial Dragons, which that's very interesting because that's never been mentioned before either. And I will definitely be keeping my eyes on that. I'm just very excited to see where they're gonna go with all of this. Let me know where you think they're gonna go with this in the comments below, because I'm very excited. Akainu said he will strike back on all fronts. He took over in a hell of a time, which he did. Unfortunate for him, he did. And he's gonna strike back on all fronts though, regardless of where they hit the world government. He is ready, and he's ready to strike back. He got an excellent hype panel. I'm so excited where we're gonna go next in One Piece, and I just can't wait. I can't wait. Thank you, Oda, Goda. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. I'll see y'all next week. Like, subscribe if y'all liked the video, y'all enjoyed what we do. We'll be here every week, live streaming on Thursdays, dropping the vids for the review on Sundays. Again, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, drop a comment below telling me what I did well, what I didn't do well, what you liked about the chapter, and I'll see y'all again next time.